ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मत्समो नास्ति पापात्मा नपराधी च कश्चन परिहारेऽपि लज्जा मे किं ब्रुवे पुरुषोत्तमा। युवतीनां यथा यूनि यूनां च युवतौ यथा मनोभिरमते तद्वन्मनो मे रमतां त्वयि। भूमौ स्खलितपादानां भूमिरेवावलम्बनं त्वयि जाता परादानां त्वामेव शरणं प्रभो। गोविन्दवल्लभे राधे प्रार्थये त्वमहं सदा त्वदीयम् इति जानातु गोविन्दो मां त्वया सह। राधे वृन्दावनाधीशे करुणामृतवाहिनी कृपया निजपादाब्ज दास्यं मह्यं प्रदीयताम्। ऋणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरिवा सहिष्णुना मानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरिः। कथञ्चन स्मृते यस्मिन् दुष्करं सुकरं भवेत् विस्मृते विपरीतं स्यात् श्रीचैतन्यं नमामि तम्। संसारदुःखजलधौ प्रतितस्य कामा क्रोधादिनक्रमकरे कबलीकृतस्य दुर्वासना निगडितस्य निराश्रयस्य चैतन्यचन्द्र मम देहि पदावलम्बम्। चैतन्यचन्द्र मम देहि पदावलम्बम्। Hare Krishna. So last time we were discussing nectar of instruction, first shloka. So this one we are discussing Vacho Vegam Manasakroda Vegam Jihva Vegam Udaropasta Vegam Etan Vegan Yo Vishaheta Dhira Sarvan Apimam Prativim Shasishyat. So this is saying a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. So this is the first shloka that is given in the Upadeshamrita by Srila Rupa Goswami. And we are going and reading this purport. And I believe we came till a point. I'm searching.
Okay, Prabhu.
We stopped here. So we stopped here. So paragraph, we'll read one paragraph up. There are 6 kinds of rasas, tastes, and if one is agitated by any one of them, he becomes controlled by the urges of the tongue. Some persons are attracted to eating of meat, fish, crabs, eggs, and other things produced by semen and blood and eaten in the form of dead bodies. Others are attracted by eating vegetables, creepers, spinach, or milk products, but all for the satisfaction of the tongue's demand. Such eating for sense gratification, including the use of extra quantities of spices like chili and tamarind, is to be given up by Krishna conscious person. The use of pan, haritaki, betel nuts, various spices used in pan making, tobacco, LSD, marijuana, opium, liquor, coffee, and tea is indulged in to fulfill illicit demands. If we can practice accepting only the remnants of food offered to Krishna, it is possible to get free from Maya's victimization. So far, this is the problem. Like, everybody is accustomed to eating certain type of food. So what should be prohibited is given above. But Prabhupada is writing here, if we can practice accepting only remnants of food offered to Krishna, that means we cook for Krishna after offering the bhoga to Krishna. If you are eating, that is the remnants of food offered to Krishna. It is possible to get free from Maya's victimization. So this is the only way we can get out of Maya's victimization, by eating food that is offered to Krishna and eating the remnants. So what we can offer: vegetables, grain, fruit, milk products, and water are proper foods to offer to the Lord. And as Lord Krishna himself prescribes. So Krishna in 18th chapter, he says, 1865, Patram Pushpam, no, it's not 1865, it's in the 18th chapter, he says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tadaham Bhakti Vipahardam Ashnami Prayatatmanaha. So he's saying, Patram, you give me a leaf, Pushpam, you give me a flower, Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, you give me a fruit, or Toyam, means water. Any of these, but Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. You have to add bhakti to that. So whoever gives these with bhakti, Krishna will accept. It can be a normal fruit, a leaf, or water, or any leaf, or any flower. So here, vegetables, grains, fruits, milk products, and water are proper foods to offer to Lord as Lord Krishna himself prescribes. However, if one accepts prasada only because of its palatable taste and thus eats too much, he also falls prey to trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. But sometimes, if you are chasing for prasadam, like, sometimes we go to temple and then if we are given some Rajboga or something, right? It is like very, very opulent, like too many varieties, 10 varieties, 15 varieties. But if you're hunting for such kind of a prasadam, okay, if I go at this time to this place, I will get Rajboga. That kind of thing, if it comes on its own accord, you can take. But here it is saying, if one accepts prasada only because of its palatable taste and thus eats too much, he falls prey to trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us to avoid very palatable dishes even while eating prasada. If we offer palatable dishes to the deity with the intention of eating such nice food, we are involving trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. So, I mean, in the initial stage, do not worry. Whatever you eat, you offer to Krishna and take. But as we progress, our Consciousness should not be like, I want to eat this vegetable today, so let me cook and offer to Krishna and then I will eat. So we should avoid that kind of a mentality. If we accept the invitation of a rich man with the idea of receiving palatable food, we are also trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. So if somebody, a rich devotee or somebody or a rich man is inviting, we can think that, okay, they give many varieties of food. So that is also trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita Antyalila it is stated, Jihwara lalase ye iti uti dhaya Shishnodhara Parayana Krishna Nahi Paya. That person who runs here and there seeking to gratify his palate, his tongue, palate is tongue. That person who runs here and there to seek to gratify his palate and who is always attached to the desires of his stomach and genitals is unable to attain Krishna. And further he says, as stated before, the tongue, belly and genitals are all situated in a straight line and they fall in the same category. Lord Chaitanya has said, Bhala na kaibe ara, bhala na paribe. Do not dress luxuriously and do not eat delicious foodstuffs. So here is what we stopped last time. And then I told that there is a nice pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita about this, why we should not dress luxuriously and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is one pastime about such things. So we can read that, and then we are reading the chastisement of Junior Haridas, and I believe we stopped. I'm looking at where we stopped. So Sarita Mataji, did you join last time's class?
I guess so, Prabhu. I think everyone was reading one verse of it, and
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
But
So
I don't remember
stop
exactly
at
where we stopped.
number 70.
Okay.
So verse 6 we need. Translation. 70. We stopped at 70. Okay, just we'll read 3 things. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Therefore, there is no difference between him, Lord Jagannath, and Lord Narsimha. So Pradyumna Brahmachari was deeply eager to understand this fact. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed it to him by a practical demonstration. Bhojana Koriya Prabhu Gela Panihati Santosha Paila Dhiki Vyanjana Paripati. After eating all the offerings, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started for Panihati. There he was greatly satisfied to see different varieties of vegetables prepared in the house of Raghava. And then we read 70 and stopped. Shivananda kahe kena karaha pukara teha kahe deka tomar prabhura vyavhara. Shivananda said to Narsimhananda, why are you expressing dismay? So from here, Sarita Mataji, I'll read the Bengali and you can read the translation.
Okay, Prabhu.
Text 71. Tina janar bhogate ho ekela kaila Jagannatha Narsimha upavasi haila.
Translation: He alone has eaten the offerings for all 3 deities. Because of this, both Jagannatha and Nrsimhadeva remain fasting.
Yeah, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ate all the offerings, and that's why Jagannath deity and Narasimhadev is remaining fasting. So because the brahmachari, he prepared all 3 offerings and 3 plates and offered to, Jagannath, Narasimhadev, and then, but all these 3 are eaten by Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only. Suni Shivanandera Chitte Haila Samasya Kiba prema veshe kaha, kiba satyahaya.
When Shivananda Sena heard this statement, he was unsure whether Nrsimhadeva Brahmachari was speaking that way because of ecstatic love or because it was actually a fact. Thank you, Prabhu.
Tabe Shivanande kichu kahe brahmachari. Samagriyana Narsimha Lagi Puna Pakakari. You continue reading. We will read this chapter.
When Shivananda Sena was thus perplexed, Nrsimhananda Brahmachari said to him, "Bring more food. Let me cook again for Lord Nrsimhadeva."
So Narsimhananda Brahmachari's Ishtadaiva is Lord Narsimhadev. And then when he cooked the bhoga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is eating the whole thing. And then now he's asking, bring more food. Let me cook once again. So this is the second time. After offering the first time, now he's again cooking. Tabe Shivananda Bhoga Samagriya Nila Pakakare Narsimhera Bhogala Gila.
Then Sivananda Sena again brought the ingredients with which to cook, and Pradyumna Brahmachari again cooked and offered the food to Nrsimhadeva.
Varshantare Shivanandalaya Bhaktagana Nilachale Dhekeyana Prabhuracharana.
The next year, Sivananda went to Jagannathapuri with all the other devotees to see the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Ekadine Sabhate Prabhu Batachalaya Nasimanendaira Guna Kahite Lagila.
One day, in the presence of all the devotees, the Lord raised these topics concerning Nrsimhananda Brahmachari and praised his transcendental qualities.
So Narasimhananda Brahmachari is the one who is doing the cooking. So now Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in front of all the presence of all the devotees, he is bringing the topics of Narasimhananda Brahmachari. Gata Varsha Paushe More Karila Bhojana Kabo Nahi Kaya Che Mishtana Vyanjana.
The Lord said, "Last year in the month of Pausa, when Nisimhananda gave me varieties of sweet meats and vegetables to eat, they were so good that I felt I have never been before eaten such preparations."
In the month of Pausha.
Pausha, yeah.
Yeah, Narasimhananda, he gave so many varieties, offerings of sweets and all the vegetables to eat that the Lord is remembering that I have never eaten such preparations. Suni Bhakta Gana Mane Ashcharya Manila Shivanandera Mane Tabe Pratyaya Janmila.
Hearing this, all the devotees were struck with wonder, and Shivananda became confident that the incident was true.
So now Shivananda is recollecting what discussion he had with Narasimhananda Brahmachari. Hey Mata Sachi Grihe Satata Bhojana Srivasera Grihe Karena Kirtan Darshana. In
In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to eat at the temple of Sasimata every day and also visit the house of Srinivasa Thakura when Kirtana was performed.
Nityanandera Nritya Dheke Nasi Bhare Bhare Narta Nirantara Avirbhava Raghavera Ghare.
Similarly, he was always present when Nityananda Prabhu danced, and he regularly appeared at the house of Raghava.
Prema Vasa Gaura Prabhu Yaha Premottama Prema Vasa Hayataha Dene Darshana.
Lord Gaura Sundara is greatly influenced by the love of his devotees. Therefore, wherever there is pure devotion to the Lord himself, subdued by such love, appears and his devotees see him.
Shivanandera Prema Sima Keka Hite Pare Yare Prema Vasa Prabhu Aise Bare Bare.
Influenced by the loving affairs of Shivananda Sena, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came again and again. Therefore, who can estimate the limits of his love?
Eta kahilu gaurera virbhava, iha ye sune jena Chaitanya prabhava.
Thus, I have described the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anyone who hears about these incidents can understand the transcendental opulence of the Lord.
Purushottame Prabhu Pase Bhagavan Acharya Parama Vaishnava Teho Supanditarya.
At Jagannath Puri, in the association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, lived Bhagwan Acharya, who was certainly a gentleman, a learned scholar, and a great devotee.
Sakya Bhavakranta Chitta Gopavatara Swarupa Goshai Saha Sakya Vyavahara.
He was fully absorbed in thoughts of fraternal relationships with God. He was an incarnation of a cowherd boy, and thus his dealings with Swarupa Damodara Goswami were very friendly. Who is he?
So there are several relationships that a devotee will reciprocate with the Lord. Um, so we have Dasya Rasa, where the devotees enjoy that rasa as serving the Lord, and then there are some other devotees who are in the Sakya Rasa, like they are in a friendship in a friendship mode with the Lord, and then there are some devotees whose love increases. They are in the Vatsalya Bhava. So Vatsalya means they think themselves as the maintainer of the Lord. So if I don't cook, my little boy Krishna will feel hungry, he may die. So Yashoda Mata, Ananda Maharaj, they are all in the parental relationship. And then the gopis are in the highest bhav. They are in the Madhurya bhav. So they have rasa with the Lord in the mood of conjugal love, as a wife or as a lover of the Lord. So these are several varieties of relationships. And then this Bhagavan Acharya is a great devotee, and he is in the fraternal relationship with God. He was an incarnation of a cowherd boy, and thus his dealings with Swarup Damodara Goswami was very friendly. So he's in the rasa of a friend. Ekanta bhave ashriyachena chaitanya charana madhye madhye prabhura teho karena nimantrana.
He sought the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet with full surrender. Sometimes he would invite the Lord to dine at his home.
Ghare bhata kari karena vivida vyanjana ekale gosai laya karana bhojana.
Bhagwan Acharya prepared varieties of rice and vegetables at home and brought the Lord there alone to eat.
Tara pita vishay bada sata nanda khanna Vishaya Vimukha Acharya Vairagya Pradhana.
Bhagwan Acharya's father, whose name was Satananda Khan, was an expert statesman, whereas Bhagwan Acharya was not at all interested in the management of the state. Indeed, he was almost in the renounced order of life. Satananda Khan? Khan?
Yeah, so those days, like there is a lot of Muslim rulers are there, and whoever they employed, all the Brahmanas and everybody, whoever they employed, they used to give them the Khan and all that. So actually, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami was also given the names Dhabir Kas and Sakar Malik. And then later Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually originally they were born in a very high class Brahmana families, but after working with the Muslim kings, then when they took the initiation, they were given the names Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. So Bhagavan Acharya's father's name is Satananda Khan, and he was like taking management of all the states work and everything. He was expert in that. But his son Bhagavan Acharya is very, very devotional, and he was very, very renounced. That's what it is saying here. Gopala Bhattacharya Nama Tara Chota Bhai Kasi Te Vedanta Padi Kela Tara Taini.
Bhagwan Acharya's brother, whose name was Gopala Bhattacharya, had studied Vedanta philosophy at Benares and had then returned to Bhagwan Acharya's home.
So Bhagavan Acharya has a brother whose name was Gopal Bhattacharya. After studying in the Benares, he came to Bhagavan Acharya's home. Acharya tahare Prabhu pade milaila antaryami Prabhu chitte sukana paila.
Bhagwan Acharya took his brother to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the Lord, knowing that Gopala Bhattacharya was a Mayavadi philosopher, could not get much happiness from meeting him.
Yeah, so because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord, he is a combined avatar of both Krishna and Radharani. He knows what is in the heart of each and every devotee. So this Bhagavan Acharya, although he brought his brother to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord knows that this person is very much attached to the Mayavadi philosophy. So what is Mayavadi philosophy? So
Attached to
Mayavadi
material things?
No. Mayavadi philosophy, they say that Jagan Mithya. Only this whole Jagat, everything is Mithya. And then finally, they want to merge to the Lord. They want to merge into the existence of the Lord. They want to become the Lord. So that is Mayavada philosophy. So their concept is like this. Like, there are some pots, empty pots. And then when we break the pot, the empty pot is lying on the sky, example. When they break the pot is gone, and the sky inside the pot and outside, everything mixes into the sky. So that is their philosophy. Right now, we are in this body called pot. When we die, we merge into the effulgence of the Lord. So that means actually we are the Lord, but we forgot who we are the Lord. That is their philosophy. So it's very, very detrimental and dangerous philosophy. There are some temples, there are some schools, some institutions which propagate this kind of Mayavadi philosophy. And it is said that whoever listens to a Mayavadi, all his pious credits and all his Vedic understanding, everything will be ruined. Okay. Mayavada bhashya sune hoya sarvanash. So basically, if somebody listens to a Mayavadi philosopher or Mayavada bhasha, or somebody speaking anything from a Mayavadi's mouth, everything is sarvanash. So basically, whatever we accumulate, whatever the piety, whatever the devotion, everything we are doing, everything is completely destroyed. That is why we have to be very careful in choosing from whom we hear this message about Bhagavad Gita, about Srimad Bhagavatam, about Chaitanya Charitamrita. So as when the Lord brought Bhagavan Acharya, he brought Gopal Bhattacharya, he knew that this person is a Mayavadi philosopher, and that's why he did not get much happiness in meeting him. Acharya sambandhe bhaye kara pratisya pritya bhasa Krishna bhakti vina prabhura nahaya ullasa.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu derives no happiness from meeting one who is not a pure devotee of Krishna. Thus, because Gopala Bhattacharya was a Mayavadi scholar, the Lord felt no jubilation in meeting him. Nevertheless, because Gopala Bhattacharya was related to Bhagwan Acharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu feigned pleasure in seeing him.
Although internally he is not very pleasurable, because there is a devotee bringing him. Bhagavan Acharya is bringing him. And Bhagavan Acharya is a very nice devotee. That's why he just kind of showed some pleasure in seeing him. Swarupa Gosaine Acharya Kahe Aradine Vedanta Padiya Gopala Ashache Ekhane.
Bhagwan Acharya said to Swarupa Damodara, Gopala, my younger brother has returned to my home, having concluded his study of Vedanta philosophy.
Sebe Mili Aisa Suni Bhashya Ihar Sthane Prema Krodha Kari Swarup Balaya Bachane.
Bhagwan Acharya requested Swarupa Damodara Goswami to hear from Gopala the commentary upon Vedanta. Swarupa Damodara, however somewhat angry because of love, spoke as follows.
Buddhi Brashta Haila Tomar Gopalera Sange Mayavada Suni Bare Upajila Range.
You have lost You have lost your intelligence in the association of Gopala, and therefore you are eager to hear the Mayavada philosophy.
See, devotees are very careful. They know that Mayavada Bhashya Sunile Poya Sarvanash. They know that. So as soon as we open YouTube lecture or anything, like anybody who is talking, like, I am going to become God or I am God, you are God, you forgot about it, and any of these things. So if we hear right, not only that our mind gets contaminated. See, it said, right, if you want to learn something, first of all, you have to unlearn what you have already heard from others. You have to unlearn. It will take a lot of time to unlearn. Now, if you go to a Mayavadi school, it's very, very detrimental. So now he is saying that Buddhi Brashta, your Buddhi has become Brashta. Have you lost your intelligence in the association of your brother Gopala? And therefore, you're eager to hear Mayavadi philosophy? Why are you even talking like that? He's asking. Vaishnava Haya Eva Shariraka Bhashya Sune Sevya Sevaka Bhavachari Apanera Ishwaramane.
When a Vaishnava listens to the Saririka Bhashya, the Mayavada commentary upon the Vedanta Sutra, he gives up the Krishna conscious attitude that the Lord is the master and the living entity is his servant. Instead, he considers himself the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, so whenever somebody listens to this Mayavad commentary, then he will lose the actual position that, I am the servant of Krishna and Krishna is the Supreme Lord. And then instead he considers himself, the person who is listening, he will himself think that he is the Supreme Lord. So this is the last snare of Maya. So Maya means Lord Krishna's external energy. It allures us. So it allures us in the form of like, this is mine, this is mine. Like, even if you go to a small boy, like a 1-year-old boy, and then if he's holding some toy and if you try to take, he says, no, it's mine, right? So what is his? Did he purchase it? Did he buy it? Did he earn it? So that is the power of Maya. And then the boy grows a little bit, and then these are my friends. This is my family. This is my brother. This is my family, my husband, my parents. And little more, this is my house, this is my neighborhood. These are my friend circle, and they are all my enemies. So this is also a snare of Maya, right? Nothing is yours, to be very specific. If you see, you did not get anything when you were born. All these came in on the way, and these will be separated from you at some time. After death, everything will be taken away. So that attraction to these things is also a Maya. And then people, they want to lord it over. They wanted to control the situations. So some people control the situation as a householder, like a mother, somebody controlling the family, somebody controlling the colony, somebody controlling the entire school, entire college. Principal thinks that I am the controller of this entire institution. Somebody sets up a company and they think that I am the controller of this company. And then somebody starts their own political party and thinks that this party is there, I'm controlling the whole nation, I'm the leader of the nation. So like that, they wanted to lord it over. They wanted to control. Actual fact is, Jivera Swarupa Nityara Krishnadas. The original Swarupa of Jiva means every living entity, is to serve Krishna. Now, instead of that, now he is serving all these other things that he is attached to. So that is Maya. And the last snare of Maya The last snare of Maya is he is fed up. He's fed up with family, nation, political party. He'll renounce everything and then he will listen to Shariraka Bhasya and feel that I am God. So that is the last snare of Maya. So all these people, anybody who is listening to the Shariraka Bhasya, this is written by Shankaracharya. So somebody listens to that, they are in the grip and thinks that they are the supreme law. And actually Krishna himself has sent Lord Shiva to go and preach this. That's why he came, Shankaracharya came in the order of Krishna to preach this Shariraka Bhasya, because there are people who are envious of Krishna, so they will get attracted to this kind of philosophy. Now here they are saying that when a Vaishnava, when a devotee listens to Shariraka Bhasya, the Mayavada commentary upon the Vedanta Sutra, he gives up Krishna conscious, that Lord Krishna is the master and the living entity is the servant, and then instead he will think himself the supreme lord. Okay. Mahabhagavataye Krishna Prana Dhanayar Mayavada Shravane Chitte Avashya Firetara.
The Mayavada philosophy presents such a jugglery of words that even a highly elevated devotee who has accepted Krishna as his life and soul changes his decision when he reads the Mayavada commentary on the Vedanta Sutra.
So it's very, very detrimental. Even the advanced elevated devotee, if they listen to this Mayavada commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, they'll change their opinion. So it's better, we should be very, very careful not to get into the trap. So in YouTube, some short videos people will send, right? Oh, he's a Sadguru, he's Jagat Guru, this, that, and then suddenly, they'll say something which will contaminate our mind. So we should be very careful not to even listen to that. The best thing is, anything beyond the Krishna consciousness, you better not listen. Acharya kahayama sabara Krishna nishta chitte ama sabara mana bhasya nare phiraite.
In spite of Swarupa Damodara's protest, Bhagwan Acharya continued, "We are all fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna with our hearts and souls. Therefore, the Sariraka Bhashya cannot change our minds."
Yeah, so here, in spite of Swarupa Damodar protest, Bhagwan Acharya is continuing. He is saying that we are all fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna. Therefore, all the Shariraka Bhashya cannot change our minds. So, he still wants to continue. Hare Krishna, Ji Ke Prabhu. Okay, Sarita Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Swarupa,
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Swarupa kahe tatapi mayavada shravane chit brahma maya mithya e matra sune.
Swarupa Damodara replied, "Nevertheless, when we hear the Mayavada philosophy, we hear that Brahman is knowledge, and that the universe of Maya is false, but we gain no spiritual understanding."
Jiva gnana kalpita ishvare sakala agnana yar shravan bhaktera pathe mana prana.
The Mayavadi philosopher tries to establish that the living entity is only imaginary and that the supreme personality of Godhead is under the influence of Maya. Hearing this kind of commentary breaks the heart and life of a devotee.
So their philosophy, Mayavada philosophy, also contain they what they try to establish, that living entity is imaginary, Jagan Mithya. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. So everything is Brahman. So Brahman is that effulgence of the Lord, and then Jagan Mithya. Everything is Mithya here. So in this connection, we can say, the living entity is a false. They say that you are also false. Your body is false, your suffering is false, and whatever you are seeing in this whole world, everything is false. How can you say that? There are so many varieties of things here. We cannot say that there are so many things. So a person, now their philosophy is like this. They are saying that you are thinking that you are seeing a rope and you are falsely thinking that it's a snake. But if there is no snake, our proposition, is if there is no snake, how can you think that the rope is a snake? That means there is an existence of snake. Because the snake existed, you are now trying to say that this rope, you are mistaking it to be a snake. That means snake is already there. If you are thinking that this is Maya, that means this is all existing, right? If it is not existing, how can you even say that this is Mithya? That is the proposition that is given. So here, the Mayavadi philosopher tries to establish the living entity is only imaginary. And even when the Lord comes, when the Supreme Lord comes, like Lord Ramachandra or Vishnu, Krishna, anybody who comes, they are also influenced by Maya. Like what we are influenced right now, they say that you are born, you forgot that you are God. Similarly, Krishna also, when he appears, when the Lord appears, he will also be controlled in the Maya. He thinks that he is also powerless. How can Krishna is controlled by Maya? How can he lift Govardhan hill? So one day in book distribution, I went. I knocked the door of a person and I'm trying to give Srimad Bhagavatam to him. And he is a Pakka Mayavadi. So he said that he is holding his baby boy. And he said that, I'm not interested in this, all these things. Anyway, I found my path. I said, curious, what is your path? See, I'm God, you are also God, but you forgot. We all forgot that we are God. After death, we will become God. So I asked him, well, if you are a God, first of all, how will you forget? Are you such a powerless God? See, God is all powerful. If God is all powerful, how can he forget that he is God? And if he is forgetting that he is God, then what kind of a God is he? Right? So Srila Prabhupada brings all these arguments. So we try to convince that person, and then the person is like completely contaminated. And then, Bhagavatam also doesn't want to go to his house. So it's not that we are giving Bhagavatam to somebody. Bhagavatam wants to go. So we are trying, as devotees, we are trying to explain him, but that person is heavily bent, saying that, no, I'm God. Then I told, when you are a God, why are you suffering? Why are you aging? Your hair is turning gray. You're losing your energy. What energy you had 10 years back, you're not having now. What kind of God is this? So then he said, no, I don't want to get into debates, but, I have my philosophy. So that is so detrimental. And hearing such commentary breaks the heart and life of a devotee. Lajja Baya Paya Arya Acharya Mauna Haila Aradine Gopalera Deshe Pathaila.
Thus, Bhagwan Acharya, greatly ashamed and fearful, remained silent. The next day, he asked Gopala Bhattacharya to return to his own district.
Ekadine Acharya Prabhure Kaila Nimantrana Gare Bhata Kari Vividha Vyanjana.
One day, Bhagwan Acharya invited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to dine at his home. Thus, he was preparing rice and various types of vegetables.
Chota Haridasa Nama Prabhura Kirtaniya Tahare Kahena Acharya Dhakiyaniya.
A devotee named Chota Haridasa used to sing for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhagwan Acharya called him to his home and spoke as follows.
So this Bhagavan Acharya sent his brother, and then again one day he invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to dine for prasadam to his home. And this time there is another devotee, his name is Chota Haridas. So he called that devotee and he is speaking like this. So GK Prabhu, we are actually continuing from where we stopped last time.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I
This is
hope
Chaitanya Amritam, right, Prabhuji?
Chaitanya Charitamrita, yes.
Chaitanya Amritam. Yes, Prabhuji. I got it, Prabhuji.
Yeah, if anyone has questions, we'll stop and discuss. Otherwise, we'll keep moving. Text
Sure,
103.
Prabhuji. Yes.
Mora Mameshiki Mahitira Bhagini Sthane Giya Shukla Chaula Eka Mana Anahamagiya.
Please go to the sister of Sikhi Mahaiti. In my name, ask her for a manna of white rice and bring it here. Prabhu, I have a question. In
Yeah.
Hinduism, we believe that in every person there is God, right?
Yes, God is situated as Paramatma in our heart. But we are not God.
Yes.
The Lord is situated. See, Lord is situated in the ant, in the body of a dog, any living entity, in the body of a tree. There are in every body there are two things. One is there is Atma and there is Paramatma. So the Atma is what we are, and then the Paramatma is what Krishna is, and is observing us. So these two entities are sitting in the core of heart of every living entity. Yes. So every person, inside every person, there is God as Paramatma. But the person himself is not God. Like you and me, we are not gods.
Oh,
But Mayavad philosophers say that we are God. We forgot it. We have to just revive that and then we'll become God. That is their proposition. Okay, Mataji, continue.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
So Bhagavan Acharya called Chota Haridas and he said, please go to sister of Shiki Mahiti. In my name, ask her a manna of white rice and bring it here because I had to cook prasadam for the Lord. So you go to the sister of Shiki Mahiti and ask some rice. Now
We
let's
never
see.
heard about Siki Mahiti.
Mataji, what is the
We
question?
never heard about her, right?
Yeah, we never heard about her so far. Yeah. Text 104. We'll see what Chota Haridas does here.
Okay, Prabhu.
Mahi Tira Bhagini se Nama Madhavi Devi Vriddha Tapaswini Ara Parama Vaishnavi.
Siki Mahiti's sister was named Madhavi Devi. She was an elderly lady who always performed austerities. She was very advanced in devotional service.
Yeah, so Shiki Mahiti's sister's name is Madhavi Devi. So he asked, go and ask sister of Shiki Mahiti and bring some rice. So he is supposed to ask rice of Madhavi Devi. So she is actually elderly Devi, elderly Mataji, and she performed a lot of austerities and she is in advanced devotional service. Let's see if Prabhupada has given, okay, nothing. Okay, text 105. You can read till 110 and then GK Prabhu can read another 10.
Okay, Prabhu.
Prabhu lekha kare yare radhikara gana jaga tera madhye patra shadeti na jana.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted her as having formerly been an associate of Srimati Radharani. In the entire world, 3.5 people were his intimate devotees.
So this lady, the Madhavi Devi, she's actually formerly she's an associate of Srimati Radharani. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in this entire world, 3.5 people were his very, very intimate devotees. Very intimate. Let's see who are they. Text 106. Swarup Gosai Ara Raya Ramananda Shiki Mahiti Tina Tara Bhagini Ardhajana.
The three were Swarupa Damodara Goswami, Ramananda Raya, and Siki Mahaiti, and the half a person who was Siki Mahaiti's sister.
Yeah, so he, in this entire world, 3.5 people were his intimate devotees. So in that 3.5 devotees who are very, very intimate to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, first is Swarup Damodar Goswami, Ramananda Raya, and then Shiki Mahiti. This is the third one. And the half is this person, Shiki Mahiti's sister, who is Madhavi Devi.
Why do you say half person? We can say it is 4 people, right?
Let's see if they gave any commentary on that. They did not. So maybe in terms of the importance, it is like 3.5 people were given the importance. I'll get back to you on that. Why the half is there.
Okay, Prabhu.
Tarathai Tundala Magi Anila Haridasa Tundula deki acharyera adhika ullasa.
After begging the rice from her, Junior Haridasa brought it to Bhagavan Acharya, who was very pleased to see its quality.
So Bhagavan Acharya knows that, you know, when somebody sends them for this rite, this is the best quality rice. That's why Bhagavan Acharya sent to the sister of Shiki Mahiti from Madhavi Devi, and he knows that the best quality rice comes. So he was very pleased to see the quality of this rice. 107. Let's do purport also. Okay. 108. स्नेहे रांधिला प्रभुर प्रिय व्यंजना दूला प्रसाद आदा चाकी lembu salavana.
In great affection, Bhagavan Acharya cooked varieties of vegetables and other preparations dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He also obtained remnants of food from Lord Jagannatha and digestive aids such as ground ginger and also lime with salt.
So this is also, and digestive aids such as ground ginger and lime with salt. So ground ginger, lime and salt is a very good aid for digestion. So he prepared nice food stuff, and he also got some remnants of food from Lord Jagannatha, from the temple of Jagannatha. And then Bhagavan Acharya, he cooked very, very nice varieties of preparations for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Text 109. मध्याह्ने ऐसिया प्रभु भोजने वासीला शल्यान्नादे की प्रभु आचार्य पुचीला.
At noon, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to eat the offerings of Bhagavan Acharya, he first appreciated the fine rice and therefore questioned him.
So he appreciated this rice is of so top quality, and then he's asking, Uttamanna eta tundula kanhate paila acharya kahe madhavi pasha magiya nila.
Where did you get such fine rice? The Lord asked.
So Bhagavan purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. You can read this, Mataji.
Bhagavan Acharya replied, I got it by begging from Madhavi Devi.
Okay. Now GK Prabhu, you can read the next 10.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Are you able to read?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu kahe kon jai, Prabhu kahe kon yai, magiya nila, Chota Hari Dasera Nama Acharya kahila.
When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked who had begged the rice and bought it back, Bhagavan Acharya mentioned the name of Junior Haridasa.
So he's inquiring, you know, the quality of the rice, who got. So from Madhavi Devi he got, and who brought this. So he was Bhagavan Acharya is saying that Junior Haridas went and he got the rice. Anna prashamshiya prabhu bhojana karila nija grihe asi govindera agnadila.
Praising the quality of the rice, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu partook of the prasadam. Then, after returning to his residence, he gave the following order to Govinda, his personal assistant.
Yeah, this episode is very important for us to understand. That's why, you know, we are reading this. There is a lesson for all of us. So he praised the quality of rice, and then he took the prasadam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he went and he asked Govinda, who is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's assistant, his personal assistant. He told the following words. Aji haite e mora agna pali ba chota hari dase ihan asite nadi ba.
From this day forward, do not allow Chota Haridas to come here.
So he said that there is no entry for Chota Haridas. Chota Haridas was a nice Kirtaniya. But he said that from this day onwards, do not allow Chota Haridas to come here. Text 114. Dwara mana haila Haridasa dukki haila mane की लागिया द्वारा माना के हा नाही जाने.
When Junior Haridasa heard that he had been ordered not to approach Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was very unhappy. No one could understand why he had been ordered not to come.
तीन दीन हैला हरिदास करे उपवासा स्वरूपादि आसी पूचिला महाप्रभु पाशा.
Haridasa fasted continuously for 3 days. Then Swarupa Damodara Goswami and other confidential devotees approached Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to inquire from him.
So now Haridas, Chota Haridas, he fasted continuously. 3 days he did not eat because the Lord said no more darshan to Chota Haridas. So he fasted, and all the other devotees are now worried. So naturally, when some devotee is down, other devotees will feel bad. So Swarup Damodar Goswami and other confidential devotees, they approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and inquiring from him. कौन अपराध प्रभु कैला हरिदासा की लागिया द्वारे माना करे उपवासा.
What great offense has Junior Haridasa committed? Why was he has been forbidden to come to your door? He has now been fasting for 3 days.
What offense did he do? Why did you forbid him to come here? He's been fasting and he's being now terrible thing, without seeing you, he's now fasting. My Lord, what is that offense that he committed? प्रभु कहे वैरागी करे प्रकृति संभाषणा देखिते ना पारो नामी ताहारा बदाना.
The Lord replied, I cannot tolerate seeing the face of a person who has accepted the renounced order of life but who still talks intimately with a woman.
So this is the aparad that Chota Haridas have done. So when he went to beg the rice, he talked intimately with a woman, right? But that Chota Haridas was in the renounced order. He's not a grihastha. He was actually a brahmachari.
Yeah.
So he is wearing the brahmachari robes, and then he is accepted the brahmachari ashram, but when he went to beg the rice, he talked intimately with the woman. So let's see the purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura comments that Saralata or simplicity is the first qualification of a Vaishnava, whereas duplicity or cunning behavior is a great offense against the principles of devotional service. As one advances in Krishna consciousness, one must gradually become disgusted with material attachment and thus become more and more attached to the service of the Lord. If one is not factually detached from material activities, but still proclaims himself advanced in devotional service, he is cheating. No one will be happy to see such behavior. So, if we are not advanced, we should not act as though that we are an advanced devotee, right? We will know where we are. We know where we stand in our devotional bhakti, what kind of how our senses are acting, and what is inside me, we know. So we should not pose ourselves to be something different. So this person took the renounced order of life, which is like renounced order of life. Taking that means that he is aloof from family and aloof from women's association. And then he was showing to the world that as though he is a devotee. But in the background, he's talking intimately with women. So that is a duplicity. That is duplicity. It's not a simplicity. So this is not the qualification of a Vaishnava. So if one is not factually detached from material activities, but still proclaims himself as advanced in devotional service, he is cheating. Like if you are not detached from material activities, you should show as if you are not. But you should not proclaim, you should not tell, or you should not claim that you are an advanced in devotional service. That is cheating, and that kind of a behavior is not good. No one will be happy to see such behavior. Okay. Durvara indriya kare vishaya grahana daravi prakriti hare munirapi mana.
So strongly do the senses adhere to the objects of their enjoyment that indeed a wooden statue of a woman attracts the mind of even a great saintly person.
So great saintly person is also attached, gets attracted to a wooden statue of a woman. Forget the real woman, but even the wooden statue. So the senses are so strong. So here purport, read the purport, Prabhu.
The senses and the sense objects are so intimately connected that the mind of even a great saintly person is attracted to a wooden doll if it is attractively shaped like a young woman. The sense objects, namely form, sound, smell, taste, and touch, are always attractive for the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and the skin. Since the senses and sense objects are naturally intimately related, sometimes even a person claiming control over his senses remains remains always subject to the control of sense objects. The senses are impossible to control unless purified and engaged in the service of the Lord. Thus, even though a saintly person vows to control his senses, the senses are still sometimes perturbed by sense objects.
So here Prabhupada is explaining how strong the senses are. Matra swashradu hitra va naviviktasano bhavet balavan indriya gramo vidvamsam apikarshati.
One should not sit closely with one's mother, sister, or daughter, for the senses are so strong that they may attract even a person advanced in knowledge.
So this verse appears in Manu Samhita. So Manu Samhita and Srimad Bhagavatam 9:19-17. It is saying that one should not sit closely in what do you call in private without anybody. One should not even sit very closely with a mother or sister or even daughter in private, because the senses are so strong, and that may attract even a person of advanced knowledge, not a person of normal. Even person of advanced in knowledge, it is detrimental. Shudra jiva sabha martaka markata vairagya kariya indriya charana bole prakriti sambhasiya.
There are many persons with little in their possession who accept the renounced order of life like monkeys. They go here and there, engaging in sense gratification and speaking intimately with women.
So this is called Marakata Vairagya. Marakata Vairagya. So I'll give you one example of Marakata Vairagya. One small story, and then we can stop, and then we can continue with some questions, and we'll take it next class. So there is a monkey. So monkeys are very fond of their sense gratification. So one monkey, he says that tomorrow is Ekadashi. So and then he is discussing with another monkey. So another monkey will say that, okay, tomorrow is Ekadashi. How will you fast? You may become weak. Then he says he will actually pluck a fruit. He's actually holding the fruit. And this monkey says that, see, tomorrow is Ekadashi. I don't know. If I fast the whole day today, I don't know if I'll be able to have the energy to pluck the fruit. That's why I plucked and kept it in my hand. After some time, the other monkey again comes and asks. Now it is saying that it has already put the fruit into the mouth. So is that okay, today is Ekadashi, and then if I become so weak, tomorrow I know I already plucked the fruit, but what if I don't know if I will have energy to bite it? So that is why I am actually putting in mouth. I don't know if my hand will have strength to put it in the mouth. So after some time, the monkey will come and he's chewing. And then the monkey will say, why are you chewing now? Today is Ekadashi, you're supposed to fast. He says that, say, if I fast the whole day, tomorrow I may become so weak that I don't know if I'll be able to bite tomorrow. That's why today only I'm biting and grinding and keeping it. So then after some time, he's gulping. So this time, the monkey asks, why are you gulping? Today is Ekadashi, you're supposed to fast. And he says that, yes, after fasting, I don't know tomorrow energy level. I know I have put everything like a pulp in my mouth. but I don't know if I'll be able to swallow. If I don't have energy to swallow, what will happen? That's why I better swallow today. So this is called Marakata Vairagya. This is cheating Vairagya. So we have to be simple and straightforward and not have duplicitous behavior. That is what is told here. If somebody cannot maintain the brahmachari ashram, it's fine. You get into Grihastha ashram, you get married, you choose a wife, and then you get going. But you cannot act that you belong to the brahmachari ashram. Or similarly, anything. We should not be duplicitous, is what is being told here. Okay, we'll read this last purport and we can stop. There are many persons with little in their possession who accept the renounced order of life like monkeys. They go here and there engaging in sense gratification and speaking intimately with women. Purport. One should strictly follow the regulative principles, namely no illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, and no gambling. And in this way, one should make progress in spiritual life. If an unfit person sentimentally accepts vairagya or takes sannyasa, but at the same time remains attached to women, he is in a very dangerous position. So we have seen some sannyasis in the TV that, they are very closely associated with women, and then they're touching the woman, and they took some videos and we saw that, right? So one should not do like that. One should not. Who asked them to take sannyas? Right. Only when you are able to control your senses, you should take sannyas. But otherwise, prematurely taking sannyas and projecting that you are a sannyasi while still having attraction is not the right thing. His renunciation is called Marakata Vairagya, a renunciation like that of a monkey. The monkey lives in a forest, eats fruit, and does not even cover itself with a cloth. In this way, it resembles a saint. There is no clothes, right? So Vairagya, I don't have to wear the clothes. But the monkey always thinks of female monkeys and sometimes keep dozens of them for sexual intercourse. This is called Marakata Vairagya. Therefore, one who is unfit should not accept the renounced order of life. One who accepts the order of sannyasa, but again becomes agitated by sensual disturbances and talks privately with women is called Dharma Dvaji or Dharma Kalanka, which means that he brings condemnation upon the religious order. Therefore, one should be extremely careful in this connection. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains the word Marakata to mean restless. A restless person cannot be steady. Therefore, he simply wanders about gratifying his senses, just to get praise from others, to get cheap adoration from his followers or people in general. Such a person sometimes accepts the dress of a sannyasi or Babaji in the renounced order, but he cannot give up desires for sense gratification, especially for the association of women. Such a person cannot make advancement in spiritual life. There are 8 different kinds of sensual enjoyment with women, including talking about them and thinking about them. Thus, for a sannyasi, a person in the renounced order, talking intimately with a woman is a great offense. Sri Ramananda Raya and Srila Narottama Das Thakur actually achieved the most elevated stage of the renounced order. But those who imitate them, accepting them as ordinary human beings, fall under the influence of material energy. But that is a great misunderstanding. So I'll stop here. You can take any questions.
Prabhuji, one question. He's talking about the saints, sannyasis, right? What about our grihastha?
Grihasthas also.
I'm just thinking while we speak in the like since 120 and 119, 119 slokas. He's referring to sannyasis and their reaction and their sins and how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has reacted, and also setting some examples and guidelines, and also some of the 4 regulative principles, right, Prabhuji? But we are in a materialistic life and we are in this grastha life, right, Prabhuji? So is that example of sannyas applies to us, or what is he was trying to portray, Prabhuji?
No, the example of sannyasi doesn't apply to us, but we should not be duplicitous. See, we should not be duplicitous. We should always be simple. Like what is in our heart, we can express it to our senior people. Another thing is like if you know that you are not able to control senses, first of all, you should not take sannyas or you should not take vanaprastha, right? You can stay in grihasthashram as long as you cannot control the senses. And in the Shastras, it is said that yes, you can have your wife and husband, and you can live with them. But anything going beyond the wife and husband, that is prohibited for grihasthas also. So any relationship, any intimate relationship which is going beyond the husband and wife, that is to be avoided in grihasthashram also. But for brahmacharis, for vanaprasthas and sannyasis, there is no connection with women. I mean, you can have a dealing. For example, if there is a service, they can still go and they can talk and get the things. Only that much. But it's not like you can intimately deal with them. You are understanding the difference, GK Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Got it.
Yeah. So that is not allowed in other three ashramas, like dealing intimately with women. In the Grihastha ashram, yes, you can deal intimately with wife and husband. One's wife and one's husband, they can be intimate, they can deal intimate, they can talk. But outside the relationship of wife and husband, one should not go and look for pleasure outside their marriage boundaries. Okay, thank you, Mataji. So that is what is given here. Okay, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Got it, Prabhuji.
Any other questions?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. Then we can stop here and we'll continue next week. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Always to our